Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear my voice. Thank you for joining. Welcome to Gradeup session on XAT critical reasoning. Over the last couple of days, we have been meeting at this hour mostly without fail, right? And I hope you guys have been working very hard towards XAT preparation. We are not left with a lot of time. So I think you are leaving no stones unturned, right? Now, if you are joining me live, then very clearly I would suggest that you quickly say a hi, Suchetan, hi, good evening, so that I know you guys are there. And if you're watching this after the session is over on YouTube especially, or even in the app, in that case, I suggest before a question comes, you pause, attempt the question, and then you can see whether your answer went right or wrong. Now let me quickly discuss the session plan. In the next couple of minutes, I would try to take you through the very basic important points that you should keep in mind when you attempt XAT critical reasoning question, which is part of the verbal section in XAT. It is slightly different, not in terms of basic concepts, but in terms of the kind of questions that XAT comes up with is pretty interesting, I would say. Not difficult, honestly, but interesting certainly. Karuna, good evening, welcome. And let me see who else is there. Devarati Roy, hi. And Chauhan, hello. Stuti Chauhan, right? Am I reading your name right? Yes. So welcome here, everyone. And I presume, obviously, because you guys have been in the sessions earlier, and obviously you may have written CAT as well, you have prepared over the last 1 year, so you know what broadly CR is all about. So I do not obviously want to take you back to the concepts and discuss those things, but I would quickly take you through the basic difference that you see in XAT. And as I have been trying to tell you, convince you about, that XAT questions are different, but they are doable. We would look at a couple of questions from previous year papers, and I would in fact look at the last 3 years papers and just show you that they are mostly doable, except 1 or 2 here and there, right? Shruti, good evening. Kostav, hello. So good that you guys have joined. Anurag, hello. Abhijit, this is live. Yes, this is a live session. Okay. Now, let me quickly take you further. Usually students always ask that, is XAT critical reasoning different, or does it ask things that are not known to us? कुछ अलग पूछते हैं, कुछ अलग करना चाहिए, right? I would rather start by asking you this basic question, that what do you think XAT critical reasoning questions ask or check? Okay, and I'll give you the answer also to minimize the time here and maximize the time on the questions. The XAT critical reasoning questions very clearly check one basic thing, and that is, can you actively and skillfully analyze, question, and evaluate ideas and arguments? All they want to see, listen to this very carefully, all they want to see is that can you really read, interpret, analyze, evaluate a given set of argument the way it is given without bringing in your own preconceived notions, जो हम बहुत करते हैं, right? This is what that CR section is all about, and that is where it becomes a little different compared to what other exams straight away ask, right? So let me just check once. Deep Shikha, hi Deep Shikha, Harshini, and Ayush and Kapish. I may not be able to say hi to a lot of you because there's just too many, but I would rather focus here. But I welcome all of you, of course, without a doubt, right? So remember, I'll repeat, XAT का पेपर अलग है, ज़्यादा मुश्किल नहीं कह सकते. Okay? So my suggestion is that you guys do revise your basic concepts of what is a premise, what is an assumption, what's a conclusion, how to strengthen, how to weaken, how to find a parallel structure, how to do paradox based questions. You can use the basic material. GMAT material is good enough to practice and revise. Okay, but these questions are interesting because they check, can you really read and interpret the given information wisely or not? That is where these questions become different. So Harish, yes, pre-thinking stage that we know is known in CR. So this pre-thinking stage is very important in XAT, far more important than probably even in GMAT questions. Okay, so Kostav, you can download the app and you would get all the information there. Okay, सारा वहाँ मिल जाएगा आपको. Sonam, hi, good evening Ashika. So if you're joining me on YouTube, and I can see a lot of highs there, right? And Sachin Prajapati, thank you so much. Thank you, really appreciate your kind words. Okay, so अब जरा देखते हैं कि XAT का क्वेश्चन अलग कैसे होता है, right? Because people do say that, and I also believe that they are not really difficult, but they are a little different. Okay, so what I suggest is you first read this information. Okay, if you're watching me on YouTube, there also I would pause. Okay, it's not a pre-recorded session, so I would pause, you take a minute, read this information, and meanwhile I'll show you the other options also. Okay, so please start reading it और मैं आपको information दिखाता हूँ, options बताता हूँ. ठीक है? Is there any other? No, yeah, only D option. Yeah. Hi Somnath. So please read it. Take a minute. Ambuj, hi. Ambuj, have a look at the question. फटाफट से देख लो एक बार question को. Read the information. Understand it. Milan, good evening. Try the question, please. Ambuj, usually 9 to 10 questions can get you the cutoff in DM section, broadly. Okay. So I have started getting answers also. Ayush Malviya has answered. Let me see who else has answered. Ambuj has also answered. Okay, good response. Very good. The questions I would show you today are from the last 3 years XAT paper, just to show you that even the CR questions are pretty doable. CR questions are usually 3 to 5 in number. 3 से 5 के आसपास आ रहे हैं. Okay. Pragati Singh, very good. Pragati says Delhi, Suchetan says Calcutta, Harish Delhi, Kajal Delhi, Sonam Delhi, Ashika, Apple, A for Apple, Debrati on YouTube, Delhi, Sachin, Bombay, Pragati, Delhi. Okay, so broadly the class agrees that it should be Delhi. है ना, एक बार देख लेते हैं. Now remember, half the work is done in CR. Remember, half the work in CR is done when you read the argument. If you can summarize the argument, you can do these questions very quickly. कोई problem नहीं होती है. Okay, let me tell you what I mean by that. Just let me change the ink color. I think it's not visible to you guys. Just a second. Yeah. Now read the argument, please. It says, on Friday morning, dieting supplement sales company Herbalife agreed to pay the fine. When do you pay a fine? when you have accepted that there was a mistake. Yes or no? Can I say that? Right? So you read the line and it says that the company has accepted to pay the fine. Means company has said, हाँ गलती हो गई, I want to pay the fine. Correct? Now it says the FTC said Herbalife cheated hopeful salespeople out of hundreds of. This is explaining the argument. This is not very important. This part is explanation. But then there is another important part. So apart from agreed to pay the fine, you have very important part here. It says Herbalife stocks received an immediate 15% increase. Now look at the connection. They agreed to pay the fine. गलती मान ली, share बढ़ गया. Correct? Implication basically means which of the following can be derived. Implication is derivation, right? Which of the following can be derived from this information? यही बताना है. And what do we know? When the company agreed to pay the fine, share market में उनके prices बढ़ गए share के. So what do we know? When people agree to pay fine, उनका share market में price बढ़ जाता है. Share के prices बढ़ जाते हैं. Now look at option, for example, B. When fraudulent companies are exposed, their stock price increase. The second part is correct. Stock price तो बढ़ा है. But is it after exposure or is it after acceptance of guilt? You understand the difference? Information किसके बारे में? Agreed to pay. Means गलती मान ली. Option B says exposed. Exposed तो बहुत पहले हुए होंगे. Now they have agreed. Correct? You see, you read the information properly and you are very close to the answer. Correct? You get the point? So look at option C, for example. When fraudulent companies are caught, their stock prices initially goes down. We don't know. All we know is they have agreed to pay the fine and उनका stock price बढ़ गया है. पहले क्या था? हो सकता है stable रहा हो सकता है पहले से भी बढ़ रहा हो. Yes, जरूरी है नीचे गया हो. Second, is this information about getting caught or is it about paying the fine, agreeing that there was a lapse? So remember guys, if you are doing a question on implication, you have to use this information to support your answer. This information is about agreeing to pay the fine. It's not about getting exposed or caught. Correct? And they have agreed to pay the fine. So they are saying we are sorry probably. Cheating to out of scope hai. So what is the correct answer? D for Delhi. Now did you see what did we do here? We used the information to eliminate choices. That's it. So Aman, good evening. Abhay, Ishika and Suchetan, Yashika, did you see why your answer went wrong? Is it clear everyone? Aditya Bikram Bhattacharji, is it clear why your answer went wrong? Please confirm जल्दी से. समझ आ रहा है क्यों गड़बड़ हुआ? So remember the rule. The rule is stick to the information. Don't go beyond it. And more importantly, try to always pay attention to the author's main point. Answer वहां से निकल के आता है. Try to summarize the information in as few words as possible. If I asked you what is the author saying here, you would have said the author is saying a company X accepted the fine, their stock prices went up. बाकी ये सारी चीजें तो बेकार है. These things are useless. This part is useless. Only these two parts are important, right? Try to understand, try to figure out what are the key points of an argument. That would help you a lot. So when you practice at home, do this with 30 to 50 questions. You would be very, very well placed to do more questions and more accurately. Correct? You follow that everyone? समझ में आ गई बात सबको? फिर से ट्राई करें. Now, let's try one more question. When this question is, I think, from either 2020 or 19, And this was a very controversial question. A lot of students could not understand the answer. They said, yeah, question hi bekar hai. Bakwas question. So I want you to try and then let's see if it was a bakwas question. Okay. Please try and tell me the answer in the chat box quickly. Everyone, fatafat se batao. Ambuja, there is a lot of negative marking, right? If you leave questions, what you lose is very minute compared to what you lose if you get wrong answers. Okay, so please don't attempt all questions. Attempt only those where you have significant confidence. Okay. Please solve the question, everyone. All right, let me see. क्या बात है इतनी जल्दी आंसर. करुणा, सोनम, प्रियंका, हरीश, सुचेतन, you have answered. Very good. Let me see. Ayush Malviya has answered. What you have chosen, Ayush, was the answer chosen by maximum people who went wrong, unfortunately. सर्वेश, इजी वो है जिसमें आप कंफर्टेबल हो. It's a very subjective question. What is easy, right? Both exams are different. Both exams have different kind of colleges aligned to them. The number of students taking the exam in both are different. So how do you say easy or difficult? है ना? Okay. So let me see. Harshini, Ayush, Devbrata, Ambuj, very good. Correct answer. Yes. If you read the argument, it says that between November and May, jellyfish are common in Australia. In Hawaii, jellyfish often show up on south-facing beaches 8 days after a full moon. In the Mediterranean, blooms usually appear in the summer. But unfortunately for travelers, there is no worldwide database, and tourism officials sometimes are reluctant to publicize jellyfish swarms because it will scare off visitors. Sometimes, not always. And you are supposed to best conclude. Best conclude, remember, means you are sure about it. Now, sometimes officials are reluctant to publicize. Publicize means probably put it on social media or news. But can we say they always do that? Now look at B option, look at the language. Economic interests influence security advisories would mean that they always do. Whereas here it says sometimes. But if jellyfish often show up on south-facing beaches 8 days after full moon, then they appear in the summer and months are also given, then we can very clearly say that months and full moon and south-facing beaches, these very clearly show the impact of celestial bodies. And which one is more likely to be true if I ask you? I'm pretty sure you would agree that A is a far better option than B. Correct? Sarvesh, thank you. Fairly easy question, but option B actually was marked by a lot of students, and they came back and they said we did not see the word sometimes. We thought A is bakwas option, so I did not choose option A at all. I thought, what celestial bodies? That's not given anywhere. They did not use the word celestial, but the bodies are celestial, like moon, for example. Even Earth is a celestial body, right? Right? Understood? So you can face such interesting questions also. Remember, if you fail to interpret the given information very clearly, you would not get the right answer. You have to be very careful with qualifying words. Words that qualify or quantify, they are very important. Always, never, all, some, many, few, most, sometimes, all these words are very important. Underline them and make sure you keep them in mind when you are interpreting the options. Correct? Now, May is asking why not D. May, try looking at D. It says seasonal variations in the marine temperature impact jellyfish sightings. Here it talks about south facing beaches 8 days after a full moon, right? And here it talks about November and May. So in Australia, November and May, what is the weather? We have no idea. From GK we may know, but otherwise we do not know. Mediterranean, it says summer, but what is the temperature? If you have summer in Antarctica, would you have warm temperature there? I hope you understand. You can't interpret like that. So Kajal, remember, the question is asking best. The question is not saying perfect answer. All it says is best out of the given 5. Correct? That's it. Am I saying A is the perfect answer? No. A is better than B because B has a very weak indication. Sometimes reluctant. Reluctant means they are unwilling. Don't they publish? They may publish. हो सकता है publish करते हो. They are unwilling. चाहते नहीं हैं. Are you saying that's better than A? नहीं ना. Seasonal variation and marine temperature. We have no idea about temperature. November to May में क्या होता है? यहाँ summer में क्या होता है? We have no idea. But I hope you understand that November to May or summers, these are also impact of celestial bodies. I hope you understand. Sun is also a celestial body. Yes or no? Moon is also a celestial body. These are all impacting the sighting of jellyfish. Is it clear? I'm pretty sure you did not consider sun as a celestial body. Correct? बात समझ में आई? हमें सूरज तो बस देवता लगते हैं, बॉडी लगते ही नहीं. करेक्ट? ओके, चलो लेट्स ट्राई वन मोर क्वेश्चन. राइट, ट्राई दिस. इट्स अ स्लाइटली लॉन्गिश क्वेश्चन बट चलेगा. ट्राई. थैंक यू सोनम, थैंक यू सो मच, एंड आई एम pretty sure you're working hard, right? Okay. Ayush, yes, I agree. But at the same time, that is better. What is causing summer and winter? What is causing summer in Mediterranean? What is causing the 8 days gap of after full moon? All these are caused by celestial body, right? Much better than saying usually reluctant. Correct? We are only comparing what is better, nothing else. Correct? I hope that your query was answered. Okay, Yash has answered. Fine. Okay, I'll wait for a minute, everyone. Anirudh Ramesh, if you are listening to me, I just read your message. I'm sorry if I missed it. Anirudh, usually I see that if you get about 80 percentile in CAT, you can easily manage to get the required percentile for XLRI, provided you are good at least one section where you can push up the marks in XAT. and you can manage the percentiles for the cutoffs in the other two sections. So if you work hard, Anirudh, Ramesh, you can definitely manage to get top calls in XAT. Just use your strong areas to push up your score and save your skin in the other sections wherever you are weak. You would be able to manage it. Aram se. No problem. Okay, let me look at the answers. So Roy Suchatan says C. Others are saying E. Okay. Now, you guys have read the argument. I am not reading it again, but let me look at the last line. It says, and now a second study finds that today's workers want forms of voice and representation that go well beyond traditional unions. They want forms of voice and representation means they want ways which go well beyond traditional unions, means they want new ways, they don't want the old ways. Correct? Now look at the options. I have to find out agree with most. Look at the second part. It says the second study uses the concept in specific context. Look at B. The second study shows limitations of existing solutions. No. Second part says we need new solutions. It tells you nothing about what is wrong with present. All it says is naya chahiye. So think about it. If I tell you I need a new laptop, am I saying the present laptop has some problem? Maybe. Maybe I got bored. Maybe it has broken. I don't know. I'm not talking about what is wrong with the present one. All I'm saying is I want a new one. Correct? So second one says shows limitations, may or may not. Look at third one. The second study shows the inability of unions in addressing them. All we know is that we want something beyond traditional unions. Does it mean they are unable to solve? Maybe they are able to solve, but they are very slow. They are very regressive in their thought process. We do not know what is wrong with them. All we know is the current traditional way is not something that I want. Correct? The second study discusses forms of representation. A and D are very clearly very weak options. Now look at E option. And the second study highlights the need for new ways of solving it. Which option? Ishika, Ajit, Suchatan. Do you follow? Harshini, Ayush. Sachin, yeah, if you have written this message, let me read. Yeah, definitely. In that case, you are doing very well. Right? So, did you understand how did we eliminate this question? The first part is there. I can read the first part also, but second part is a direct elimination, I would say, hotspot. I can simply eliminate on the basis of the second part. Second part says we have to go beyond the traditional unions, means we have to do something new. Let me tell you, if you look closely, the second part does not tell you what to do. It does not tell you what is it that the new way should be like. All it says is new way should be there. I don't want the traditional union. So what do you want? Something new. What is that? I don't know. I don't care. But I don't want traditional union. You follow that? So why the answer would be D for Delhi. Right now, Shruti Mandal. Look at D option. It says, and the second study discusses forms of representation. Forms of representation. Do you think these lines are talking about forms of representation? All it says is workers want forms of voice and representation that go well beyond traditional unions means they want something new. They want to go beyond the traditional unions. They want something new. Are they discussing forms of representation? For example, democracy, limited democracy, voting rights or voting method? Nothing of that sort. So why would I consider D for Delhi? Correct? Yes. It wants but does not discuss. So do you understand if you're going wrong in these questions, why you're going wrong? Probably because you're not able to look at those tiny differences between choices. Examiners would create such tiny differences, no? And you have to look at them. Otherwise, you would not get right answers. Right? All right. One last question of the day. Try this, please. Take a minute and let me know the answer. Priyanka Banerjee has answered. Yes, you are so welcome. Thank you so much. These messages of course make our day, definitely. Yes, you are right. Priyanka A, Kajal Chaudhary A, Debrati Roy says A. Okay. All right. Good. Did you have this feel that this looks like a statement made by Donald Trump? मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगा. I haven't checked the source, but it looks like that. Don't you think so? This very line, I mean, she's a woman. I felt as if it came from Donald Trump. ऐसा मुझे लगा. If Donald Trump is watching this, then I am a little scared, but मुझे ऐसा लगा. Okay. I felt so. Meera Chaudhary thinks C. Ranjit says A. Very similar for sure, yes. Okay. Shubham Sharma A. Harshini A. Ranjit Gupta A. Akanksha Pranav Shruti C. Okay, may probably on Hillary Clinton. Yes, it is possible. Yeah. Capable of doing that. Donald can do that, right? Okay, fairly easy question, but still a lot of you have got it wrong. Okay. Now, those who got this question wrong invariably chose option C. जिनका गलत हुआ है C choose किया है. Obviously, there would be some who would have chosen something else also, but I am saying generally speaking, people have made a mistake by choosing C. Okay? और अभी पता चल गया होगा ना कि आंसर क्या है. C तो नहीं है. Now, let me give you a very nice point which you should keep in mind when you are writing that critical reasoning. Okay? Suppose the line had been this. Suppose the line had been this. I could have still said, okay, I understand you made a mistake. Read this line. To divert attention towards ISIS and away from the economy. I would have still said, okay, you made a genuine mistake. Yes? Right? But read the option once again, guys. Once again. To divert attention towards ISIS as compared to the economy would mean that he is diverting attention towards ISIS, but it does not tell us that he is taking the attention away from the economy. You imagined that, yes or no? I'm pretty sure you thought the option C is saying to divert attention towards ISIS and taking it away from the economy. But the option does not say that. Yes or no? Read and tell me. बात समझ आ रही है क्या बोल रहा हूँ? हाँ, Trump is leaving, so I'm not worried really. That's very clear. है ना? Now read this again, everyone. When asked what the politician will do for the nation's economy, he attacked the opponent by saying, "Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that? I mean, she's a woman, and I'm not supposed to say bad things. But really, folks, come on, are we serious? Nevertheless, we are going to defeat ISIS. And I'll tell you, I will take care of ISIS." Now listen to one more important thing. First important thing in this question is that you misrepresented or misinterpreted option C. All it says is that to divert attention towards ISIS, but it doesn't say and take it away from the economy. That's one problem. Second, question is asking what? Best describes the politician's intent. Question is remember not asking what you think. Question is saying when the politician said this, what was his intention? Now eliminate choices. Was his intention to say, to digress and argue that security is more important than economy? He is straight away telling people that listen, don't listen to what this lady is saying. She's a lady. Why would you take her seriously? Is he saying that security is more important than economy? Is that his intention? Not at all. Is his intention to make a sexist remark and share his concern about an important issue? Share his concern? Is that his intention? I am pretty sure first part is definitely the intention, but is the second part intention? Can I say that when somebody, in place of answering the question, what about national economy, starts attacking a female, the person is definitely trying to divert the attention. No doubt about it. And that is why a lot of people marked C. But do you really think that the second part is correct? I'm pretty sure you would agree that the second part has a problem in C option. Correct? Now, option B definitely is not a good answer. Let me tell you why. It says to appeal to the macho voters and use fear as a tool to lure voters. Did you see any sign of fear anywhere? Again, if you read the entire paragraph, does it tell you what ISIS stands for? What does it do? What was it doing? Again, do you understand, guys, if you have marked B, because I see a couple of answers B, I'm pretty sure you are using your knowledge to answer the question. You're not using the information to answer the question. Yes or no? We know that ISIS was one of the most brutal terrorist organizations in the world. But does the paragraph tell us that? Second, where is this macho voter thing coming from? Where is this fear coming from? There is no information on that. Is the politician saying that thing is sissy, that thing is cowardly, and I want my supporters to be macho? Nothing of that sort. So B very clearly is out of scope. D very clearly, first part is still okay. He wants to make a sexist remark, or maybe he's not even aware. I don't even know. But second part is definitely wrong concern. And E, security is more important than economy. That's not his intention. It may be true otherwise, but that's not his intention. So what is he doing? Think about it. He has been asked about economy, and he is telling people to avoid listening to her because she is a female. Is he using logic anywhere? No. Then what is he using? Emotion. Correct? This is another example of a well-structured XAT question where they have talked about ISIS, but they have not told you what it does or what it did. because they know you would use your own knowledge to answer and you would get stuck. Correct? And the second part has a very clear-cut play of language, which you would not pay attention to and you would simply assume कि ये बोल रहा है. This is what I want you guys to avoid, right? Vijay, no. You are again assuming ISIS is a security issue. Let me ask you. All it says is defeat ISIS. What is ISIS in the paragraph? Don't you see that you are assuming that it is a terrorist organization threatening the entire world? That's what something you know. Where does the paragraph tell you that? यही तो मैं समझा रहा हूँ. I just received a comment saying that ISIS is threatening the country and the person wants to defeat. You are assuming all that. Where is that written? All it says is the person is a politician. Does it say he is the president? No. You are assuming all that. That's exactly what you have to avoid. You are supposed to remember, you are supposed to answer the question not from your standpoint, from the politician's standpoint. What is he thinking? Why do you think he says don't trust that person? She is a woman. What does she know? She is trying to get the attention of the voters by appealing to their sense of superiority against the females. It's a very smart question. They tell you nothing about ISIS because they know you would assume all that. और आप गड़बड़ करके आओगे. Correct? Yes, that's correct. Shruti, you are again interpreting emotion from your side. You didn't get the question, Shruti. Question is asking when the politician made this statement, what was his intention? Let me ask you, was he appealing to the logical sense of the listeners? Would you logically tell people to avoid a female, not listen to a female? You guys think emotion means love and hate. That's it. When I say that hate that person because she is a female, I'm appealing to your emotions. That's what this question did. That is why so many people went wrong in this question. I hope you understand that. बात समझ में आ रही है? इमोशन का मतलब देवदास मूवी नहीं होती है. Please understand that. Emotion means something that is not logical, that follows not from your thinking, but from your deepest feelings, right? That's what this question is about. Correct? So, Abhijit Dhar, no, not at all. You are not supposed to. Correct? Kapish, I think I have answered your question because I was answering to somebody else, but your question has been answered, right? Okay. So I'll stop it here, but let me tell you guys, in this question, XAT got you if you thought A, that this person is Donald Trump, if you thought you are supposed to answer from your perspective, and third, you thought that ISIS is the threat the way we see ISIS. You're not supposed to do any of that. You're supposed to just read it, stick to this information, then answer from the politician's point of view. That is why this question actually made a lot of people go wrong, whereas it's a reasonably okay question, not very hard, right? So please make sure in the remaining days you practice from the previous year papers. CR ka section isme usually you would get about 5 to 6 questions, and very clearly it can make or break your entire section, right? You might come across 1 or 2 questions here and there which would be hard, so do not solve them for the sake of solving them. You solve them if you have a reasonable basis for solving. Otherwise, be very careful with CR section in XAT. It can backfire big time, okay? Because it's all about play of words. All right. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, everyone. Right. It was nice having you all here. We would come up with more sessions. I'll see you again. Thanks, everybody. Please keep on studying hard. I'll see you. Thanks for joining. Thank you. Bye-bye.